Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever part of this crazy planet you are living on. Anyway, so it's Monday again. Just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. I know, sorry about the singing. But yeah, here we are, Monday again. I don't know if you're a person who likes Mondays, a person who doesn't like Mondays, a person who doesn't care every day's the same. Mondays are always a little bit frenetic normally, aren't they? Touchwood, mine hasn't been so far. It normally is. But so far, touchwood, so far, so good. Okay, so I've had some classes this morning. Those of you that know me know that I do Spanish classes. I've had a couple of classes this morning. So we'll look at Donald. So apparently there's been another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. So apparently this suspect, and this is another sort of American guy, they blame the immigrants for everything, but it's all Americans that are trying to kill Donald Trump. Makes you wonder, will Donald Trump, if he wins, God forbid, the next presidency, will he ban guns? Because all the guns seem to be centered on him at the moment. So he says, this suspect, we're going to have a look at him talking in a minute. He flew to Ukraine and urged Americans to join him. But Donald Trump says his resolve is stronger than ever, and the FBI is investigating after shots were fired while he was playing golf. So apparently his security is not too brilliant, which really surprised me because at the end of the day, he is an ex-president. He's running for the next president, so he should have really high security. It's not as if he was an ex-president and now he's never in the news. He's always in the news, isn't he, with something that is said to rile up somebody. He's saying that all the immigrants are eating animals and they're eating the cats and the dogs. He's said that he hates Taylor Swift. So there's probably a load of Swifties, a load of Taylor Swift fans that probably quite like to assassinate him now. He says very contentious things, and he's running to be the president. So he's not exactly fake. It's not like he's bloody, I don't know, Bill Clinton and never appears on telly anymore. He's always out there doing rallies, giving speeches, saying contentious things, because that is Donald Trump, isn't it? So he does need security, because as much as Donald Trump is not my cup of tea, but I still wouldn't like to see him being shot. I don't, none of that's, people should not be shot because of their political persuasion or whatever. Though, I do think he does say very antagonistic things. But so this suspect in custody, Ryan Ruth, urges Americans to fight there. Americans. So he's been urging Americans to go to Ukraine. Now, I don't know how old he is, but I know that in Ukraine they won't take people over, I think it's 60. Let's have a look. Let's see. Anyway, we've got him talking on this here. So this is him. Oh, you can't see it yet. Let me share it. This is the guy. Look, patriotic, stars and stripes on his T-shirt. I mean, he looks older than, oh no, he's 58. So he's still got 2 years he can fight for Ukraine if he wants to. And that surprised me because, of course, so he'll be pro-giving Ukraine money. And, of course, Donald Trump is anti giving Ukraine money, and he's more pro-Putin, isn't he? Donald Trump, Putin's like his best friend, so or one of his best friends. So this guy, he could fight for Ukraine. He's still got 2 years left in him as far as Ukraine's concerned. And this is resurfaced footage from 2022, and it shows Donald Trump's assassination suspect talking to Newsweek Romania about the Ukraine war. And Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58, has been arrested in conviction with the apparent attempt on Mr. Trump's life. So this was, Donald apparently plays golf every Sunday morning in the same place. So it'd be easy to know that he would be there that particular Sunday morning. They found an AK, whatever, AK-7 type gun around there. So, you know, you can just go and buy one of those, right? So in America, I was just thinking how many people, even as we speak, are planning to kill Donald Trump, because everything he says is very contentious. And, he's got no grace about him. So all that, I was thinking about the tweet he's put out. Well, it's not a tweet because it's on his Truth Social. I hate Taylor Swift. Well, how many politicians could you imagine? I don't know, Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak, going on Twitter or Twitter and saying, I hate Ed Sheeran, because maybe Ed Sheeran had come out in favour of the opposing political party. Oh, it's asking me to sign in. Have I ever signed in? Oh, I can't. I'm not signing in if they won't let me have a look. Oh, no, I'm not making an account. Anyway, it was on Truth Social. And he just put, I hate Taylor Swift. That's sort of childish, isn't it? Even as say Rishi Sunak or any of the politicians that perhaps I don't like, even Boris Johnson, would he have gone on and done that? He's our populist, the most populist prime minister we've ever had. And I don't think even he would have gone on and said, oh, I hate Gary Neville or I hate Gary Lineker. I don't know, maybe. Just seems childish to me for, a senior politician, the ex-president of the United States and someone who's trying to be president again, to make a statement like that on his Truth Social. I hate Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift has come out against him. But, of course, how many people love Taylor Swift? I'd say a lot more people than love Donald Trump, because Taylor Swift is famous all over the world, not just in America. So it's a silly thing to say, really. And of course, he has noticed his ratings have gone right down since Taylor Swift came out and said that. His ratings have gone down since he debated Kamala Harris, because she did wipe the floor with him. His ratings have gone down since he started saying that immigrants were eating the cats and eating the dogs and what have you. So he's not perhaps, of course, he picked J.D. Vance as his running mate, and he hasn't gone down very well. So, I don't know what's going to happen in the election, and who knows. But I wouldn't say that Donald Trump's campaign is going very well. So now 2 assassination attempts as well. So let's see what this guy had.
As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable. When you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here to fight, that is heroism. He's coming here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable. When you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here to fight, that is heroism.
Oh, see how he gets so emotional talking about heroism and going to Ukraine and fight, but it doesn't really fit in with actually trying to assassinate somebody, does it? You know, if you rescind violence, you know, if he's against Putin for invading Ukraine, then you know you can't then go off and try and kill Donald Trump and you know then say that's okay to do that. You know, violence is you either think it's right or it's wrong, and it's wrong. So but he was getting quite emotional there, wasn't he, talking about someone just don't, I don't know where these ideas come from, because these kind of things also, they do make Trump a bit of a martyr. You know, yeah, but that's twice now. Twice now someone's tried to assassinate him. Hope for his sake it's not third time lucky. Go back and just watch this one more time.
As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, you know, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable. When you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owned to come here to fight, that is heroism. You know, he's come here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world.
Yeah, so it's a very strange situation, isn't it? Hi, Jules. You know, as you say, Bertan, I mean, Trump has said just one phone call, and that's it. He'll stop the war. The war would never have happened if he was in government. And, you know, maybe it will be right, because, of course, Trump, he is inward looking to the country, not so outward looking. You know, it's all about, or he says it's all about America, etc. You know, is this going to start a trend of assassinations again? You know, I was thinking, and there's been quite a lot in America's history. There's been a lot of assassinations, haven't there, in their political history? And as I think somebody was saying in the chat there, yeah, you think Kamala, will she be? But I think they all must be worried, mustn't they? You know, it's like scary to think that somebody can come that close. I'm sure they couldn't get that close to the president like Joe Biden. But how could they get that close to Trump that they could actually, even the other one before? You know, it makes you wonder, are the Secret Service, are they secretly hoping that somebody will shoot Trump? Because they weren't very vigilant, were they? Seemed like everybody saw that previous shooter except the Secret Service. You know, were they deliberately turning a blind eye or what? You know, you just don't know, do you? But yeah, so this is the guy. This is the guy that apparently, and he's lucky he hasn't been shot, because of course the other one, the young boy, he was shot. So why are they sort of literally gunning for Trump at the moment? I wonder why. You know, because Donald Trump, love him or hate him, he's always been the same, hasn't he? You can't say that what you see is not what you get with Donald. He's always been the same since he canvassed for the very first election, the election that he won. He's always been the same. He does not really saying anything different now to what he was saying then. So why suddenly does everybody want to kill him? It feels like, and previous, the other guy, the young lad, apparently had been a Republican supporter. I think somebody was saying in there that this guy is or was. You know, it's worrying, isn't it? I mean, if I was Donald Trump, I'd be frightened of going out, to be honest. Because who knows? Who knows? Hey, so, hey, so who knows what the reason is? Why suddenly is there this sort of a bit of a I don't know, because there hasn't been any as far as I know, there haven't been any assassination attempts for a long time. But of course, there have been loads in the history of America. But was the last one Ronald Reagan? I don't know. Anyway, let me see if there's any other info. Yeah, now the thing is, Kamala Harris has got a 5-point lead at the moment as far as polling's concerned, apparently, according to Sky News. She's got a 5-point lead, so, you know, he's not going to be very happy with that, is he, Donald Trump? No, he doesn't like losing. He doesn't even like, doesn't like to admit that he's lost. Let's just see what it says on Sky. What we know about suspect Ryan Ruth. So according to records, Ruth lived in North Carolina for most of his life before moving to Kauai, Hawaii in 2018. And in Hawaii, he and his son appeared to operate a company building sheds, according to an archived version of the website for the business. Voter records show he registered as an unaffiliated voter in North Carolina in 2012, most recently voting in person during the state's Democratic Party primary in March 2024. He said he voted for Mr. Trump in 2016 before later becoming disillusioned with him. Now, I wonder why he became disillusioned with him. I wonder why. Because we can't forget that, at the end of the day, Donald Trump, he is a convicted felon now as well. He's associated with Jeffrey Epstein. He's RAP'd a woman, apparently, there's all this with Stormy Daniels, the porn star associations. There are, I think sometimes people forget that. He can turn around and say it's all rubbish and just trying to besmirch him or whatever, but I don't think it is. He has done these things, and but it doesn't matter to some supporters. There are some supporters, even women, they still think he's great even though he's done bad things against women. And then of course is the law, the right to life laws and things like that. And even the Pope weighed in about that. So the Pope's getting involved, which makes me even angry because Pope's not elected, is he? He's not elected except by the other priests. Sitting there, he's, telling people how to live their lives. And he's sat in the Vatican, the richest place in the world or whatever, and, never had a problem with anything and sat there telling people how to live their lives. So he's angry with both Kamala and Donald Trump. He got angry with Donald Trump because he said his views on immigrants are, terrible and against humanity. And then he's annoyed with Kamala because he says she allows babies to be killed. So, the right to life, etc. But, this has always been a bit of a problem of mine with Catholicism because also, though I think this particular Pope has stepped back a little bit because then they will say, you can't use contraception. Well, in countries like Africa and places like that, some of the places where people live, the only fun thing they get to do is probably have sex that's free. And, they can do it. But, of course, it results in children if you don't take contraception. If he doesn't want people to, if he believes in the right to life once a fetus is, brought into being, then you have to believe in contraception. You can't ban contraception and abortion. What, just all these poor people go on having children, these children starve and suffer. So, I'm not sure about the Pope, but I have a feeling, and maybe somebody will know in chat, I have a feeling he might have said that contraception is okay. which if he said that contraception is okay, that's fair enough. Because he has a massive influence on these poor countries, because a lot of them are mainly Catholic. So they listen to what the Pope says. So if the Pope says don't take contraception, they won't take contraception. But if the Pope says, oh, you're okay, you're not going to hell if you take contraception, then they'll take contraception, and they need to take contraception. Not only to stop having babies, but also to stop sort of STDs and things like that from being transmitted. So campaign finance records show that Ruth has made 19 small political donations, totaling around $140, modest donations, since 2019 to Act Blue, a political action committee that supports Democratic candidates. So somewhere, for some reason, in between 2016 and 2019, he decided he didn't like Donald Trump anymore, and he started donating small amounts of money to this Democratic Political Action Committee. So he's had a few brushes with the law. He was featured in a profile by the News and Record newspaper for his assistance in helping defend a woman against an alleged rapist. Gosh. And under the headline Crime Fighting Pays, when he was 25, he was described as a super citizen after being awarded a law enforcement Oscar by the Greensboro chapter of the International Union of Police Association. However, the Washington Post reports that public records also show that Ruth faced criminal charges over two separate incidents in 2002 for possession of a weapon of mass destruction. What? A weapon of mass destruction? What, a nuclear warhead? Or are they thinking about an AK-7 or whatever? Is a gun a weapon of mass destruction? Anyway, apparently he pleaded guilty to the first charge in April 2002, but no other details were publicly available, according to the newspaper. And the News and Record newspaper reported that later that year he was also charged after barricading himself in a building in Greensboro for 3 hours, armed with a machine gun. The incident began after he was pulled over for a traffic stop, but police eventually arrested him without incident. Oh my God, well, how was he allowed to have a gun again then if he'd already been charged? Hi, Kelly. How would he sorry, I'm just totally gobsmacked that if he's already been charged with, possessing guns, that, weapons of mass destruction, how would he, do you know what I mean? How was he allowed to have them again? That whatever people think about guns in America or whatever, this definitely needs some sort of looking at, because that's just surely barricaded himself in a building in Greensboro for 3 hours armed with a machine gun after he was pulled over for a traffic stop. So if that's what you do if he's pulled over for a traffic stop, thank God it wasn't anything more serious like, I don't know, not paying his car tax or whatever. How ridiculous. Okay, support for Ukraine. So Ruth is reported to have said he travelled to Ukraine in an attempt to help the country in its fight against Russia. And a video has emerged of an interview he gave to Newsweek in 2022. Can't believe how long that war's been going on. To me, it makes me angry, because as far as that war's concerned, I think, not only the America, but other countries and the UK included, keep, just throwing money at this situation. But who is negotiating for peace? Sometimes I just think, where's the peace negotiations? because that war will never end until there are, so whether you like Putin or you don't like him, you've got to, face reality. Unless people start talking to him and some sort of peace is negotiated, it's never going to happen. So, it's all those poor people, the innocent civilians in these war zones that suffer, while politicians go around, saying, no, we're never giving in. But, never giving, might have to give in something, but anyway, we'll see. He says in the footage, this conflict is definitely black and white. So he believes it's black and white. This is about good versus evil. And he later says in the video, why world leaders are not sending military to Ukraine is beyond me. Well, because they don't want World War III. That's why. You can't just, send military, other countries, and then, Russia, anyway, can't get into a World War III conflict. Anyway, he later says, we're going to have to elect new leaders the next go round that have a backbone and the fortitude to say we're not going to tolerate this type of behaviour from Russia. Well, I do think Kamala Harris has got a backbone, but I don't think she's going to go and try and start a war with Putin. She's I just don't think she is. Who does he think is going to do that? I don't think there's anybody that would become the leader and then go and, start a war with Russia. Nobody I just don't think that's ever going to happen. But anyway, he wrote a book about the Ukraine war where he described how he gave up and quit. A decision, he says, makes him the worst of humans. And the book, called Ukraine's Unwinnable War, was previously on sale on Amazon for £2.25 before being withdrawn. He writes, I am the failure, the hypocrite that wants the world to change, but let communism beat me down and exhaust me and send me home. I'm mere 5 months and I run for home, not even with the first bit of mud or cold or the first bullet, and I am beaten and exhausted in the simplest elementary ground floor challenges of good and evil, and I fail. Anyway, so Kamala Harris has taken a 5-point lead over Donald Trump. Don't know if that will be affected by this, the latest assassination attempt. Still a long way till the election. She's still got a long way to go. It all depends on the swing states, doesn't it? That's what will make the decision in this election, because there are people out there, they wouldn't vote Republican if it was Mickey Mouse standing. They wouldn't. And there are people out there that wouldn't vote Democrat if it was Minnie Mouse standing, because some people would just vote for what they've always voted. But the ones that are the key are the swing states, the states where they do sometimes go one way, sometimes go the other way. And they're the ones that will matter the most, isn't it? At the end of the day, there's other states that, doesn't matter what Donald Trump does or what Kamala does. The people there, they're not going to vote for the other person. There's people out there that won't vote for Donald Trump even if he turns out to be the Messiah, and there's people out there that won't vote for Kamala Harris even if she turns out to be Mary Magdalene, because they just wouldn't vote Republican or Democrat because it's against them. So it's all going to be decided on those swing states. But I do think this Taylor Swift endorsement, whatever people think, whether they think she's right or wrong or whatever, she's come out in favour of Kamala, and that will be a massive advantage for Kamala, because I don't think Donald Trump's going to get any similar celebrity, with a similar weight behind them to come out for him, and that's what he needs now. Because now that Taylor's come out for Kamala, if Donald doesn't somehow conjure up some similar backing from some similar person with similar popularity, I just don't think he can do it now. Now, whereas if you would have asked me a month ago, and especially just after the previous assassination attempt, which I thought would go in his favour, to be honest, the way he, came out of it, fight, and all that, and people think, oh, his God wanted him to survive because the bullet just missed his ear, etc. That, I think, was his most and then the bad thing that happened for him was Kamala and Joe switching over. Once Joe Biden stepped down and Kamala came into the running, and Kamala with the backing that she's got of people like Taylor Smith, Jennifer Aniston, lots of very, very famous, Robert De Niro, there's lots of very famous Americans rooting for the Democrats. So I just think it'll be difficult for Donald Trump now, but there's still a long way to go, so anything could still happen. Maybe something will. So I just hope it's not another assassination attempt. So it's not good, this. That guy, the history of that guy, supposed to be caring about humanity, etc. It's not good to go out and try and assassinate somebody, Donald Trump or anyone, it's not good, is it? So, but we'll see, will it make a difference to his popularity? Will next week, will he have clawed back some of those 5 points? This is what's fascinating about politics, isn't it? Because, anything can happen. Sometimes when you think, oh, it's cut and dried, and then something happens, you never know what's going to happen, do you? Anyway, I'm going to go now. I've got some more classes later. I'll probably be back tonight. Probably, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow night for Members Live, of course. So don't forget, think about becoming a member, joining our live stream on a Tuesday, the exclusive live stream for members. What else did I want to say? Nothing else. I think that's about it. Oh, that's right. What I was going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this video in two and put out the Donald Trump bit, just as talking about the Donald Trump assassination attempt. So just so that if you see that come out, that won't be if you've watched this video, that won't be a new video for you. I'm just going to cut this video in two, so if edit it, so it's just about Donald Trump, because it's sort of, these are two completely different subjects, aren't they? Talking about the poor family that was killed by their son, and now talking about good old Donald. I think Donald will be frightened to go out now, don't you? God, if I was Donald, I wouldn't go out the house, I think, at the moment. We're not, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Anyway, so, oh, hang on, I think this teenager is in court. Oh, so the teenager, just to let you know, he has appeared in court, Nicholas Prosper, and all he spoke was to give his name and date of birth. That's it. So as far as you can see, there's nothing else. Okay, so take care. Remember to look after you. You are the most important person in your life and the people around you. I wish that lady would have looked after herself more and been able to feel that she could go for help. It's so very sad, isn't it? So very sad. But anyway, I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always, always, always go with you. Bye.